So in January 2018, particles of a solid cannot move freely because of the strong force of attraction that the particles have. So our answer is going to be B. Force of attractions are very strong. Which of the following processes does not provide evidence that support the particulate nature of matter? So it supports particulate nature of matter is osmosis, diffusion, Brownian motion. So the process which is not osmosis, diffusion or Brownian motion is C. Which of the following mixtures are arranged in increasing particle size? So it's solution, colloid, suspension. So our answer is A. Sulfuric acid is a stronger acid than ethanoic acid. So that means sulfuric acid is going to ionize more readily, or it produces more ions when dissolved in water. So the answer for this one, it ionizes to a greater extent than ethanoic acid. Two particles have the following composition: protons the same 10, electrons the same. So we know it's an atom because it have equal number of protons and electrons. Number of neutron is 12 and the number of neutron is 11. So they have different same number of proton but this different number of neutron. So these are isotopes. Give me 1 minute, please. Excuse me for about 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes. In the notation, chlorine 1735. 17 is the atomic number, 35 is the mass number. So it says the number 17 represents the atomic number or the number of proton. The mass of oxygen atom contained in contains the same number of moles as 112 sulfur atom. So we need to find the number of moles. Number of moles is given mass over molar mass. So it's going to be 112 divided by 32, which gives us
3.5.
3.5. So 3.5. So it wants the mass of oxygen atom, not molecule, atom. So oxygen 3.5 times 16. What's the answer?
Miss 56 grams.
See. Thank you. Which of the following halogen is a liquid at room temperature? That's going to be bromine. Iodine is a solid. Fluorine and chlorine are gases. Bromine is a liquid. Sodium chloride has high melting point because sodium has a high melting point. That's not true. Chlorine is a powerful oxidizing agent. That's not true. The crystal does not absorb readily. That's not true. The ions are bound by strong electrostatic force of attraction. So the answer is D. New element R shows chemical properties similar to the element sodium. Sodium is in group 1. So that means R has 1 valent electron. So R and sulfur, the valency of R is 1. Sulfur is in group 6. So its valency is 2. When we swap the valency, it becomes R2S1. So the formula of the compound is A. Number 11. 11 refers to the following diagrams. So this is graphite. So this molecule here is graphite. Ionic bond formation results from So in ionic bonding, we have a metal which donates electron to non-metal. This results in the metal forming cation and the non-metal forming anion. Donation of electron from, not from a non-metal. Donation of electron from a metal to a non-metal to achieve stability. So the answer is B. Sulfur and oxygen are in the same group of the periodic table. Elements have the same group because they have the same number of electrons. So our answer is going to be C. They have the same number of electrons on their outer shell. An acid is defined as a proton donor. Acids are proton donor. Proton acceptors are going to be our base. Salt heated with a certain base. This is a repeat. What's the answer for number 15?
Ammonium.
Calcium has an oxidation number of 2+. This is because the calcium ion would have lost 2 electrons. And it has 2 electrons on its outer shell. So let's see. Because the calcium has 2 electrons on the outermost shell, so that's A. Here we have a pH curve. So here, volume of Y added. So when we start out, right, we have X. X have a low pH, so X must be an acid. Right? So it could be A or C. And then the pH increases as Y is added till we get to about 13. 1 second. So Y has to be an alkaline, the only alkaline there. So water is neutral, so the answer is C. Where are we? No, number 18. Relative atomic mass of carbon is 12, and that of oxygen is 16. Therefore, 88 grams of carbon dioxide consists of, so carbon dioxide is CO2. So in CO2, 3.1 moles of CO2. So the molar mass for CO2 is 44. And the number of moles there would be 2. So A is wrong. So it's 2 moles of CO2. So 88 grams consists of 2 moles of CO2. 2 moles of CO2 has 2 carbons and 2 times 2 oxygen, which is 4. So 1 mole of carbon atom, 2 moles of NO2, that's wrong. 2 moles of carbon atom, 4 moles of oxygen. So the answer is D. Are we clear how I did that?
Yes.
Yes.
Piece of metal reacts with an acid to produce hydrogen gas. Which of the following procedures should be employed in order to increase the rate of reaction? Increase the temperature at which reaction is carried out, that is true. Subdividing, mean we're increasing the surface area, that is true. Reduce the concentration of acid, that will not speed up the rate of reaction, so we're looking for A. Which of the following pairs of elements shows allotrope? So the elements which show allotropes are sulfur, carbon, phosphorus. So off the bat, we're seeing sulfur and carbon, so the answer is A. Which of the following process is fractional distillation not used? Fractional distillation, refining crude oil, that is true. Conversion of alkane to alkene, that's cracking. So the answer would be B. We use fractional distillation to separate gases as well as ethanol from fermented mixture. So the answer is B. A piece of calcium was added to some distilled water in a container, and the following observation was recorded. The reaction was rapid. Bubbles of gas evolve. So the bubble of gas which evolve is metal plus acid gives us hydrogen gas. The solution is cloudy. So when calcium reacts with water, it forms calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is sparingly soluble. So the suspension that is formed is calcium hydroxide because it is sparingly soluble. And it forms hydrogen as well. The temperature increases, so that means the reaction is exothermic. The gas produced is expected to, so the gas is hydrogen. To test for hydrogen, we use a lighted splint and it gives a pop sound. So the answer is going to be B. Cloudy suspension was produced in water. So the cloudy suspension we said is the calcium hydroxide, which is slightly soluble. So the answer is A. A sample of the suspension was filtered. So the suspension is going to be calcium hydroxide. We're filtering it to remove the undissolved calcium hydroxide to separate it from the calcium hydroxide, which dissolves. So the filtrate is going to be a base. So will have a pH of 10. Which of the following substance react with an acid to liberate a gas which turns milky, lime water milky? So the gas that does this is carbon dioxide. So we're looking for a substance which reacts with acid to produce carbon dioxide. That is a carbonate, so our answer is C. Here we have an energy profile diagram. From the energy profile diagram, so this reaction is going to be endothermic because the reactants have less energy than the product. So it says cannot be converted to product. Hello? No, me figure it out. Me not my class. Me figure it out. So the reactant does not give out heat when they react. They absorb energy to react. So this is wrong. They give out heat to form products. And they give energy to the products. So the only correct thing there is B. The oxidation number of silicon. So 2 sodium ion is 2 plus. Oxygen has an oxidation number of -2. So 3 times -2 is 6 plus. So which number, when we add all of that together, we're going to get 0 plus 2 plus x plus -6 give us 0. So the oxidation state of silicon is going to be 4. That's clear?
Yes, miss.
Concentrated solution of sodium chloride is electrolyzed using carbon electrode. So at the anode, the Cl- ions are preferentially discharged, and at the cathode, hydrogen ions are preferentially discharged. So at the cathode, we form hydrogen. At the anode, we're going to form chlorine. Chlorine is liberated at the anode. That is true. The rate of chemical reaction does not depend on. So the rate depends on the catalyst, concentration of the reactant, that is true. Temperature of the reacting system, those are factors of electrolysis, does not depend on the energy change associated with the reaction. Which of the following forms the acidic oxide when burned in oxygen? So we're looking for a non-metals form acidic oxides. So the non-metals here are carbon and nitrogen. So that's 2 and 3. So our answer is C. When a piece of magnesium ribbon is burnt in air, magnesium oxide is formed. All right, so magnesium oxide is a basic oxide, right? Oxides of metal are basic. It is then placed in water and tested with litmus solution, which turns blue. From the above experiment, so litmus turns blue in base. So our answer is B. A suitable drying agent for preparing ammonia is calcium chloride. That's the drying agent. Which of the following metal does not displace hydrogen from hydrochloric acid? So we're looking for elements lower than hydrogen in the reactivity series. And the one which is lower than hydrogen is copper. Potassium is a metal. From this information only, it may be deduced that potassium is a good conductor of electricity. That's the only property of metal that we're seeing there. Hello? An alloy is a mixture of metal. Give me a minute. I don't know this phone. The alloy is a mixture of metal. Which of the following gases form white fumes when dipped in glass rod? So white fumes is a reaction of hydrochloric acid, HCl gas and ammonia gas when dipped in aqueous ammonia. So our answer is going to be hydrogen chloride, sorry, because it forms ammonium chloride. So this white fumes is ammonium chloride. Cryolite, so we're going to be answering questions on the extraction of aluminum from bauxite. Cryolite is used to lower the melting point of the aluminum oxide. So A, carbon tends to the carbon anode. So at the anode, the oxygen gas is formed at the anode. So the oxygen tends to react with the carbon to form carbon dioxide. So it reacts with the cryolite? No, it is oxidized by oxygen. Yes, because carbon moved from 0 to carbon dioxide where its oxidation number is +4. Which of the following elements is important constituents of chlorophyll? That's going to be magnesium. Which of the following is or are true of non-metal? Non-metals are reducing agents. That's not true. Metals are reducing agent. They are capable of replacing hydrogen. That's not true. Metals replace hydrogen. They're generally poor conductors of electricity. This is true. So the answer is A only. 3 only. So it's A. The main substance responsible for acid rain are going to be oxides of sulfur and oxides of nitrogen. So our answer is B. Which of the following is most electropositive? So the most electropositive element is the one which is the most reactive. So in the reactivity series, the element most reactive at the highest in the reactivity series is going to be magnesium. 43 refers to the following sequence of reaction involving iron compound, where 1, 2, 3, 4 represents progressive stage. So we have iron carbonate decomposing to form iron oxide. Then we have iron oxide being oxidized to form iron 2 oxide being oxidized to form iron 3 oxide. Then we have a iron forming a salt. So that means that iron must have reacted with an acid here in order to form salt. And then we have iron hydroxide. So that means we must have reacted the iron sulfate with sodium hydroxide to form iron 3 hydroxide. Suitable reagent to be used at 4 would be aqueous sodium hydroxide. It's the only thing there that provides hydrogen ions. Which of the following features is not true of all homologous series of a compound? The members of the series have similar chemical property. That is true. The same empirical formula. That is not true. Same functional group, same general formula. Those are true. So which is not true is going to be B. So we have compound, 2 organic compound 1 and 2, molecular formula C3H8O, H8O, which have the structure. So in this structure, we have 2 propanol, and in this structure, we have propanol. So these compounds have the same molecular formula, but the atoms are arranged differently, so they are isomers. So we're looking for 2-bromo butane. Butane means we have 4 carbon. The bromo would be on the 2nd carbon. So we have 4 carbon here, but bromo is on the 1st, so this is wrong. Here, and we're looking for alkane. This is an alkene, so that's wrong. We have alkane here with 4 carbons, and bromine is on the 2nd carbon, so our answer is C. Which of the following about ethane is correct? So ethane has the structural formula, that's true. Molecular formula, C2H4, that's true. Empirical formula, CH2, that is true, because if we simplify C2H4, we're going to end up with CH2 as the empirical formula. And the general formula, oh, ethane, what do you mean? What is wrong with me? I read that wrong. So it's ethane. So it is not, this is ethane. So this is not correct. Molecular formula is not correct. The empirical formula is not correct. It's an alkane. So the general formula is CnH2n plus 2. Sorry about that. Which of the following substance would an alkane react? So alkane can only react with oxygen and halogen. So we're looking for oxygen or halogen. The halogen we're seeing here is chlorine, so it will react with chlorine. CnH2n. So these are some general formulas. So general formula for alkene, followed by alkane, followed by alkanol, followed by carboxylic acid. Which of the following formula? Which of the above is the formula for a compound which undergoes substitution? So we're looking for an alkane. General formula for the alkane is shown at B. Which of the above is the formula for the compound which burns to give sooty flame? Sooty flame, we're looking for an alkene. So that's going to be A, alkene A. Which of the following statements are true about alkane and alkene? Alkane and alkene burn in air to give carbon dioxide and water. Yes, all organic compound does that. Alkane undergo substitution reaction, while alkene undergo addition. That is true. Alkanes are saturated hydrocarbon, good, because they have carbon single bonds, while alkene are unsaturated. This is true. So all the above is true. So we have addition, isomerism, esterification, polymerization. We're going to use it to answer 52 and 53. What is the name of the catalyzed reaction which uses alcohol and organic acid? So that's an esterification reaction. So that's C. What's the name of the process in which proteins are formed from amino acid? Amino acid is the monomer, protein is a polymer. So the answer is dog. Which of the following equation represents the fermentation of sugar using glucose? So it's glucose forms 2 ethanol, 2 carbon dioxide. So the answer is A. When large alkane molecules are cracked, the products are a mixture of, so when you crack alkene, we're gonna get alkene and alkane. So the products are small alkane and small alkene molecule. Which of the following are reactions of ethanoic acid? Ethanoic acid forms salt when reacts with sodium hydroxide, yes. Liberates carbon dioxide from carbonate, that is true. Liberates hydrogen in contact with a strongly electropositive metal. This is a very reactive metal. So all of these are correct. Which of the compounds decolorize potassium permanganate? So we are looking for alcohol or alkene. So alkene is at B. So we will use that one. Which of the following is not formed from condensation polymerization? So polyalkene, polyamide, polyester, polysaccharide. So polyalkene is from addition. All the others are from condensation. So the answer is A. The other 3 are condensation, polymerization. It is better to use soapless detergents for washing in hard water than it is to use soaps, because soapless detergents are going to, all right? So soapless detergents are cheaper than soap. Soapless detergents are more biodegradable than soap. Not true. Is more soluble in hard water than soap. So the answer is C. Which of the following hydrocarbon is the main constituents of natural gas? That is gonna be A, methane.